So before I dive into my actual opinions about this game, I just want to share with you the timeline of when I first found out about this game all the way up to now when I'm actually able to enjoy this game, just because I think knowing this timeline can help you understand why I might feel certain types of ways about this game and just how I initially received this game. So it's way back in August 2017. I had just started my YouTube channel. Splatoon 2 had just came out, ARMS had just came out, and really at the time, these were the only competitive multiplayer games on the system that you could play. There wasn't a whole lot of games on the Switch in general, and there was a real big void for competitive multiplayer games, and specifically multiplayer shooting games. So then this Nindies Direct happens. It was around my birthday, and it was a pretty good Direct, and I made a video about it. The biggest headline out of that Direct was this new game announcement called Morphies Law, because like I said, there weren't a whole lot of competitive shooting games on the system at the time, and this was going to be a Switch exclusive. It was also an indie. It looked like nothing else we'd ever seen before, similar to how Splatoon 2 was like nothing else we'd ever seen before. It was very exciting, and it was also coming out in winter 2017 when we didn't know if there would be any type of big new shooters. I mean, I think at that point we might have known of Doom, but other than Doom and Splatoon 2, it was those two and Morphies Law for 2017 that we thought we were going to get. So then winter 2017 rolls around and nothing happens. I actually followed the developers on Twitter, and they didn't really say anything when it didn't happen. I mean, they never announced a concrete release date, so I feel like they're maybe kind of just dragging it out, but you know, all the way up into January, it still said winter 2017 on their website. Then around the end of January on their website, they actually updated it. They started being a little more active on their Twitter, and they said it was going to be coming in March 2018. So it wasn't too far away. Yeah, it just been a little delay, so it wasn't super satisfying, but at least it was coming out. I was still excited about it. So around February, I was searching for video ideas, and one weekend I made a video called Top 5 Games Coming Out in 2018. And this was around the time that I had looked at the Morphies Law website and realized it was coming soon. So I put that game in my top 5 games of 2018 video. I was that excited about it still because at the time, like I said, there weren't a lot of big competitive shooters, even towards the beginning of 2018. So that was a highlight for me, and I put it in that video. Then March 2018 rolls around. Nothing happens, nothing at all. And I even go back to the website in like May, and it still says March 2018. Like, yeah, that came and went, guys, and you couldn't even update your website real quick. You couldn't even change the date just real quick. I think that's where my biggest qualm started with this game, is just the lack of updates that the developer gave us when we were patiently waiting for it. It was announced way back in August, so it was just kind of frustrating. Then this summer rolls around, E3 comes, and we get Fortnite, then we get Paladins shortly after that. And I played a lot of Fortnite and Paladins this summer. I spent money on Fortnite, I spent money on Paladins, and I've really fallen in love with this game. That void of competitive shooting games on Switch has been completely filled, and just competitive games in general. We have multiple fighting games now, we have multiple shooting games. That void is not a thing anymore. And now we're in August 2018, and on a random Monday of no particular importance, we get Morphies Law. And here it is. They just drop it like that. Like I said, I've been excited about this game from the start, but I just wanted to share the timeline of how my whole excitement for this game has maybe affected how I might feel about it now. So hopefully that helps you understand. And now, without further ado, sorry that was so long-winded, but here are my actual opinions on this game, Morphies Law. Morphies Law is a Switch-exclusive competitive shooting game currently priced at $20 on the eShop. For that $20, you're going to get 3 different type of game modes to play, as well as quite a few different character customization options. The main difference between Morphies Law and other similar games is that instead of focusing solely on killing the other team, the game actually focuses on this unique mechanic called body morphology. Whenever you shoot someone, the body part that you hit is going to shrink in size and in turn make your corresponding body part grow bigger. Depending on which plugin you choose for your character, this can make it so that you can unlock special powers for growing certain body parts, and also make it so that you can fit into places that you might not have been able to before. That being said though, this mechanic can also make for some very wacky looking character models that can honestly make playing the game slightly more difficult and just more laggy in general. I think that this concept is super cool, but the graphics obviously had to suffer in order to make this mechanic work, and the result is a game that looks and plays like something that would have been on the PlayStation 2. So putting the graphics and the systematic lag aside though, all of these plugins that you can unlock and then equip are actually pretty unique and cool. For example, the chest plugin that you unlock is going to allow you to spawn this big shield when your chest grows big enough, and this is just the first layer of how each player can differentiate themselves from the next. There's also the cool loadout system, which allows you to combine a weapon type with a different secondary ability. This loadout system is super simple but super unique, and unlocking more loadout options is honestly one of the only things keeping me playing this game at this point. Besides weapons and plugins, you can also buy and equip different cosmetic rewards as well. There's 3 different types of emotes as well as different patterns to choose from that you can put on your face and your body. You can buy these patterns and the emotes from the shop using the currency that you gain from playing matches, and you can also buy these loot boxes that come in the form of pinatas. You'll also get loot boxes just for leveling up, and for the record, I actually do really enjoy knocking these pinatas open, and I appreciate the fact that they kept the Mexican theme of the world up even with the loot boxes. I have to say though that customizing these characters just isn't nearly as fun as it is in most other games. I don't know if it's just the fact that most of these Sugar Skull designs look very similar to one another, but looking through the cosmetic shop, I just really can't find anything that I genuinely want to buy. Moving on past customization, you're going to be spending a majority of your time playing this game within these 3 different types of game modes, so let's talk about those. There's the first, which is called Morph Match, and this is the most basic of the modes. It just combines the entire mass of every person on each team, and whichever team has the biggest combined mass wins. Then there's Mass Heist, which is essentially the same thing, except you actually have to donate your mass whenever you have a bunch of it at random altars that spawn all over the map instead of it just automatically counting at the end of the match. Then there's the Headhunt mode, which is sort of like a capture the flag mode. This mode seems like the most fun, but I honestly still don't fully understand how it works. There is a tutorial in this game, but it doesn't actually explain how each of the game modes work, so I was a little lost when I was trying Headhunt out, but it seemed fun. Those are the 3 modes you'll be playing the whole time, and honestly, it feels a little empty. Sure, games like Paladins and Fortnite can survive with only 3 purely multiplayer modes to choose from, but the difference here is that those games are free and actually fun to play. I don't know if I just haven't played enough for the bug to really bite me, but this game just isn't satisfying to play for me. The controls feel wonky all the time. It's hard to keep track of your progress when you have to physically look at both teams' avatar to know who's winning. The graphics look like it should just be a mini game in a Ratchet and Clank game. The sounds that they chose for walking and shooting are all really annoying. I don't know, it's just a janky experience all around, and I don't find myself enjoying it. Morphies Law at its core is a fundamentally great idea. It's super unique, it's nothing like any other competitive shooting game that we've seen before, which is why I thought it would be such a great fit for the Switch, especially since it's a Switch exclusive. Splatoon 2 did the same thing. It kind of took the popular competitive shooting genre and flipped it on its head to make it something completely different, but the same thing at the same time. I thought Morphies Law was going to be the next Splatoon 2. Obviously, it didn't have enough resources or enough time, a big enough team. I don't know what the excuse is, but this game is just not up to par. Like I said, it had a very long release schedule with multiple delays, which definitely might have affected the way that I first received this game and I'm receiving it now. but it's just not fun to play. I think it really could have benefited from maybe being released as a beta a few months ago or back in winter 2017, and then, you know, grown that grassroots fan base and kind of taken their feedback and opinions and slowly patched the game up so it could be something now. I think they could have benefited from that if they had kind of tried to do that all this year, but now it still needs all that work, and now it's just out there fully released. I really hope that they keep up with this game and try to patch it as much as they can, but for right now, it's not fun enough for me to keep playing. I'm just gonna go play Paladins, honestly. That's just how I feel, but let me know how you feel about Morphies Law down in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe to my channel for the latest Switch content available. This has been Max from Max Culture, and thank you so much for watching.